Happy holidays, PRHS. Today it is Friday, December 20th, and welcome to PRHS Today. I am Gavin Rayo.
And I am Patrick Like.
How did you get here?
Oh, you left the back door open.
Who did that?
Not me.
For our weather today, we're looking at about a high of 24 degrees, a little bit chilly, nothing we're not used to. And same with our morning's weather, which is around 15 degrees. Chilly, but we're used to it. However, this vacation, we're looking at really chilly weather with highs even in the single digits. Yes, I'm looking at you Sunday with a high of 9 degrees. So make sure to wear your hats, Christmas sweaters, and coats because it's going to be a cold one.
And normally this would be where our banner section would be. However, sadly that section has died. May it rest in peace.
Rest in peace. However, first off, for today's broadcast, we are going to have our interview. This time it's a very musical interview with Mr. Gunn, where we learn about the choral and band programs, with right after that being our winter sports with Ruby Clogston.
And then finally at the end of this program, we have a small challenge for you guys watching us right now.
And without further delay, on to Xander Claus with our interview.
And now I'm here with Mr. Gunn. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Gunn.
No problem.
How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. So what after-school opportunities do you have available?
Well, we have a ton of opportunities in the music program. For classes, we offer traditional concert band, concert chorus. We also have a co-curricular pep band, which is mostly people who are in concert band or jazz band. We also have a class called Integrated Music, which is kids that want to do both band and chorus, but they can't fit both in their schedule. So we spend about 40 minutes on band music and then 40 minutes on chorus. And then right before the concerts, we put all those classes together. So the ensembles that you see during the concert on stage are those classes that meet separately, and then we get a few opportunities. Sometimes we have Bobcat blocks, but mostly just that dress rehearsal to kind of put all of those pieces together. In terms of after school, we have a co-curricular chamber singers, which meets every Wednesday at 5. And we rehearse once a week and then get ready for performances. And then, of course, at every football game, we have our pep band. So we meet, we practice the tunes during classes, and then meet every Saturday that there's a home game, and then 3 boys games and 3 girls games in the gym for basketball.
Mm-hmm. So how can kids join? Are there like the prerequisites, like you mentioned, like band and chorus? Do they have to be taking those in order to join you after school for those?
Yeah, pretty much. Chorus is one of those things. It's like if you could talk, you could sing. And I've had kids join chorus. Some kids obviously come up from doing it in middle school, but a lot of people come in and they either have friends that are doing it. I had 2 kids just join a couple weeks before the concert because they heard their friends were doing it and they wanted to get involved. So they just kind of joined us and learned the songs really, really quickly, and then they're continuing on in the spring. So, band is one of those things that there's prerequisites just because you have to have so much proficiency on an instrument. But chorus, I've had kids join just their senior year and say, hey, I wish I did this all 4 years. That's something that, anybody who can at least phonate and make sounds. They can certainly join us at any point in the year. If you've got a study hall second block B days or third block B days, and you're like, hey, I want to try something different, come see me, come see your guidance counselor, we can set something up.
Mm-hmm. So what big events take place throughout the year for these, after school activities?
Yeah, so obviously our winter concert and our spring concert are kind of 2 big things. March, though, is one of those months that we're super, super busy, but not a lot of people know about it. We have our cultural arts night, which we have in the gym, but most of our high school ensembles are working towards something called the Large Group Music Festival, which is hosted at Bow High School near Concord. And it's a chance for us to get professional feedback from adjudicators. So there's 3 professional choral directors and 3 professional band directors, and they're each giving us comments as we perform. And then we actually have to sight read. So we go into a different room, the entire group, all 60 of us, and then they give us a new piece and they give us 2 minutes and they say, okay, look at it. Now you have to play it or sing it. So it's pretty intimidating, but again, all throughout the year we're building those skills and we're building those reading skills, particularly for that large group festival so that we can really read it fresh on. There's a ton of honors festivals which kids are involved in. We just had 5 kids invited to the All-State Music Festival. So that's a big thing happening in April. We obviously perform at graduation, obviously getting ready for our musical. So we have those big performances that you hear about, the winter and spring concerts, and then the cultural arts night. but we have a bunch of stuff happening all throughout the year, so we're pretty busy.
So are there any specific interested people that you're looking for, like any specific chorus members, any specific instrument players, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I say the more the merrier. You know, one of my big philosophies is that, you know, anyone really has the ability to make music. You know, we also have a guitar class, which isn't a performing ensemble, it's just an elective, so anybody can take that. Whether they've played guitar or they've never touched a guitar, you know, it's really open to anybody. Chorus is one of those things that, you know, I always get people at their senior year or second semester senior year, and they just wish they had done it more, you know, and there is this intimidation because, you know, you're in a room and you've never sung in front of people, but we really do a lot of activities and exercises to get people comfortable with that. And even if you didn't do it in middle school, or even if it's something that intimidates you, I highly encourage anybody to come on and even just try it out for a class. You know, say you have a study hall and say, you know, I'm not ready to commit yet, but I want to try it out. Just come on and sing and see how much fun we're having, and hopefully you stay.
So speaking of getting people a little more comfortable, let's get people a little more comfortable with you with some, you know, some rapid fire questions for you. So what's your favorite instrument?
Favorite instrument, my major instrument in college was piano, so I'd say piano is definitely my favorite. My minor instrument was clarinet, but for pep band, I really enjoy playing the trombone. I think that's one of my favorites, just because I, you know, certainly haven't had much training on it. The last pep band game, I don't know if anyone saw JS's pictures on Facebook, but I had my kid in my backpack, so he was like helping me play the trombone at that game. So that's one of my favorite things to do right now.
What's your favorite song?
Favorite song goes back and forth. I love Beyonce, so that Cowboy Carter album I listen to all the time. The Wicked album, obviously, Wicked was the first show I saw on Broadway, so I'm listening to that on repeat pretty much every day.
Favorite genre?
I love just choral music in general. Like I can just jam out to choral music or listen to choral music. I also love musical theater and anything Beyonce.
So what awards do you have?
A couple of years ago, I got the American Choral Directors Association Choral Director of the Year for New Hampshire award. But I think that's like the only official award I've gotten. But yeah, I'm super lucky to have gotten involved. I conduct the PEMI Choral Society, the community chorus downtown. I've done a bunch of adjudication in the state for different festivals and different auditions. So it's nice to be a music teacher in a small state because we can get as involved as we want to be with some of these kind of extracurricular activities. I'm also the manager for the New Hampshire All-State Mixed Chorus. So I get to hire these big name conductors that come into the state and conduct that festival in April. So no specific, you know, not a lot of awards, but certainly very involved with everything going on in New Hampshire.
So any hobbies outside of music?
Yeah, I love cooking. Cooking's like one of my favorite things to do. Love cooking, I love hiking. A lot of my extra time right now, my wife works afternoons and evenings, so a lot of my extra time is spent either at the park or at the library, just playing with my kid and making sure he doesn't burn the building to the ground. But yeah, that's what takes up most of my time right now.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here, Mr.
Yeah.
Gunn. It was great having you on, and I hope you enjoyed being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, back to you guys.
Thank you, Xander Claus.
And now we have to see what our winter teams have been up to. On to our sports section with Ruby, the red-nosed reindeer.
Thank you. Now we have some exciting news here at Plymouth Regional High School, so let's take a look at that. The esports team was runner-up in the NHIAA State Rocket League Championships. Then our girls wrestling team won second place out of 17 teams. Haley Demers took first place, Ellison Casey Pietranero and Cam Stewart took second, and then Tegan Hershey and Bree Stewart took third. Moving on to basketball, girls and boys had games against Conval. The girls won 44-23, while the boys lost 38-60. Now on to this week. Tuesday, girls basketball had an away game against Dairyfield. They lost 31-58, while the boys had a home game against Manchester West High School, and they lost 42-57. Wednesday, both wrestling and ice hockey had games, and everyone did an outstanding job. Now on to the games happening tonight. Girls basketball has an away game, and boys basketball has a home game. And last but not least, our gymnastics team has their first home meet this season tonight at 6 p.m. Good luck to all the athletes today. I'm Ruby. This has been your sports recap for the past 2 weeks. Go Bobcats, and now taking it back to the elves at the desk.
Thank you, Ruby.
And lastly, we'd like to discuss a little bit more about the challenge that we had mentioned at the beginning of our broadcast here. So what we want to do is have a compilation of the year of 2024, like this fall / beginning of winter, and last spring, and maybe even a little bit of the summer. And we'd like to pile it all into like one big video. So yes, we'd like you, yes you, not us, you, to send in pictures, videos, even just text. That would work too.
Yep.
And we can just all bring it into one thing and have a good end of the year thing once we get back from vacation.
And you can contact us at dsalzer@petmebaker.org or at 25 GRHEAUME@petmebaker.org.
And finally, we have reached the end of this broadcast.
Thank you to Mr. Gunn for allowing us to do an interview.
Thank you, Mr. Salzer, for letting us use this studio.
And thank you to our wonderful casting crew for working on this broadcast. This is PRHS
PRHS
Today, signing off for the year.